Hi legends, and thanks for clicking and sticking with the channel so far. In this video, I'll be sharing with you my thoughts and experiences when comparing ownership of a brand new Ford Mustang GT with a 4-decade-old Ford Falcon XD. Unnecessary intro. Similar to, but not entirely plagiarizing, the great Doug DeMuro, I'll be breaking my comparison down into 3 categories. 1, the buying experience. This is where we'll look at the buying experience. 2, mods and maintenance. This is where we'll look at mods and 3, the driving experience. This is where we'll look at the. Before I continue, I just want to say a huge thanks to those of you who have subscribed to this little channel. I may not be looking right at you right now because I haven't committed all of this to memory, but we're growing fast, and each and every subscription to Fuel Burn Media is tremendously important to me, as it provides that extra puff of wind in my sails, that extra motivation for me to get out of my pajamas and go make some videos. My mission with these videos is about as simple as I am. Provide some light entertainment and perhaps serve as a bit of a distraction from all the shit that's going on in the world. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, not shit, but escapism, feel free to click the subscribe button. It's free and it makes this 6'7" video Viking feel good in the brain bits. Now let's go. The buying experience. I placed my order for the race red V8 Mustang GT in January 2017. It's the first brand new car I'd ever purchased. 6 months later, Detroit Down Tools held a parade in my honor and sent a coyote-hearted coupe across the Pacific to Melbourne. Picking up the Mustang was one of the greatest days of my life. It was also one of the scariest days of my life when I got home and had to parallel park my unfamiliar, shiny new red sports car between these 2 brick pillars, or as I prefer to call them, the gates of hell. Overall, it was a tremendously rewarding buying experience and topped off perfectly when I visited my mum the next day and she had no idea her son was this financially reckless. Just kidding, she was proud as punch and almost stole the damn thing from me.
Bye, I'll see you.
Fast forward to early 2020 and I put my Mustang up for sale with a heavy heart and a heavy beer gut. Why? Because of all the beer. But why sell the Mustang? Because my first car was an XD wagon, and seeing as I'm a slave to nostalgia, I decided to head back to the well. In a stroke of luck, I found the buyer of the Mustang and the seller of the Falcon at the same time. Now, to add some code to the incidents, it turned out that the buyer of the Mustang and the seller of the Falcon actually knew each other. You see, the Mustang went to a fella by the name of Matthew McKeldin, driver of one of the Kubota racing Mustangs in the awesome TA2 series, and co-host of a national radio show called The Driver's Seat on SEN with Steve Johnson. At the same time, I bought the XD Falcon wagon from none other than Marcus Sakanovich. You'll recognise Marcus and his XD from the fantastic Touring Car Masters racing category. See? Now, with Marcus and I both in Victoria and Matt in Queensland, the logistics could not have worked out better. I drove to the Z-Man's workshop in the Mustang, left it there for him to load on a truck to Queensland, then he gave me the keys to the XD wagon and I drove home. And what a comfortable drive it was too. At 201 centimetres tall, I can't fit into a lot of cars. Are you making fun of my appearance? But Marcus's dad, Mick, is a bit of an engineering genius and he fabricated some custom seat rails for me so I could cruise home in uncramped comfort. So while the buying experience for the Mustang and the Falcon were wildly different, they were both fantastic, and I can't say one was better than the other, the XD was. Mods and maintenance. Being a brand new car, the Mustang was flawless in terms of maintenance. Unlike my mental stability, there were no issues at all. The car was serviced by the legends at the car garage who specialise in Mustangs. In fact, you should see the twin turbo that they're currently doing in conjunction with Ponyworks. Brahoo to hell! I was not, however, aware of the sheer scale of the Mustang modding scene. It's not uncommon for Mustang owners to pick up their car from the dealership and drive it straight into a crowd. Boom tish. I mean, drive it straight into a custom shop and change wheels, wings, exhaust, grills, badges. It's so competitive. On one hand, it's great because you can set your Mustang apart from all the others. On the other hand, it's maddening because you're never satisfied and you'll hemorrhage money trying to keep up with the Mustang buddies. I actually targeted cosmetic changes only, from the side, from the rear, and from the front. First was to fill out those wheel arches and upgrade the 19-inch wheels to a set of 20-inch concave Valgren Classic 5s. Love them, and never saw another Mustang in Melbourne with them on, not in silver anyway. Next was the axle back quad tip Roush exhaust that changed the sound from this to this. And that made downshifting real fun. Finally, and perhaps most uniquely, was the stainless steel mesh grille. I ordered this from Michael at Race Mesh Grills in California at the time. My Mustang was the first race mesh grill equipped car in Australia, so that felt kind of nice and unique. And that's how the car stayed under my care. Understated, clean, but still unique. Well, about as unique as a red Mustang can get. Now let's talk mods and maintenance for the XD Falcon. I knew buying a 41-year-old all original matching numbers 3.3 litre column shift auto XD Ford Falcon station wagon was not going to be without its mechanical gremlins. My brain knew that, but my heart still found it difficult to process when something went wrong. With that said, there are only two things that did go wrong. First, the water pump died after only 4 decades of loyal service. Nothing that the Sakanovich clan couldn't handle though. Then the carburetor finally carked it, and it got a full refurbishment courtesy of Wilson Carburetors and the guys at the car garage. Now that's quite remarkable for a car that was already 10 years old and probably onto its 3rd owner when these guys were top of the pops. And I would walk 500. Moving on now to mods for the XD Falcon, and just like the Mustang, I'm targeting few mods that can make big impact. Unlike the Mustang, I don't need to worry about setting myself apart from all the other XD wagons out there, because I don't think I've seen more than 10 XD wagons in the last 10 years. Be that as it may, the car is all original, inside and out. The body, the engine, the interior. The only change to date are the wheels. I still have the old wheels stacked in the garage, but for now I'm running the 17-inch Performance Formula mesh rims in gold. I like it, and I feel it sets off the ghost gum beige paintwork really nice like. Sure, I'd like to update the exhaust, raise the front and lower the rear just a little, and dump a great big stonking V8 in it, but there's no rush, money, and the car is a cruiser. Speaking of cruising, on the road. This would have to be where the cars differ the most, and should come as no surprise given the age difference. The Mustang is loud. The Falcon is composed. The Mustang is fast. The Falcon is relaxed. So I guess it depends on where you're at in life. While I know I'll be slaying tyres and lap times again one day, for now I just want to cruise. I can't afford both a race car and a cruiser, but I'm incredibly grateful that I can at least afford one at a time. Did I mention I had an FPV46? Thanks so much for watching. Please click that big, beautiful, juicy subscribe button if you feel like seeing more. I promise I'll be back filming car shows the moment there are car shows to film. I cannot wait.